chapter with Suzuki was going to be done. And then was it always the goal to go to Europe? And, how did you make that transition? You said you didn't really have a manager at the time. How do you go from being with Suzuki almost your whole life to then, hey, I'm going to a Yamaha team or Yamaha Italia?
There's a couple things. I had ridden the Suzuki Wildcard GP bike in '08 a couple times, and they wanted me to go there, but there was another rider on the team with another manager that was kind of helping block that move a little bit. And just basically that wasn't really an option, even though the progression of how things were going, that's kind of how it should have gone. And then so that didn't happen, and then the fighting with Matt in America was kind of getting to a boiling point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to win 3 titles in a row now, and I'm not saying I'm the number one on the team, but y'all got to stop treating him as the number one on the team, basically, because he had a really good relationship with Mel Harris, the president. So I was kind of always a little bit second fiddle to that, and I was just like, I'm not taking it anymore. So I went over to Tom Halverson at Yamaha, and I said, hey, what about riding for y'all next year? And they wanted it to happen.
In America? Or
in America.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then he started talking with McCarty about it, and that translated to going over to Lynn Jarvis and talking, Japan and all that stuff. And then I got a call from Lynn, it was Keith McCarty called me, and he said, hey, we can't have you here. We don't have the money to have you here, and things are going to be changing, just in the racing in the next couple of years in America. So it'd be better for you to go to Europe. And Mel Harris had already told me that at Suzuki. He was like, man, if you don't stay here, he said, you have to go to Europe. And I was like, all right. So then he said, Mayo Marigali's going to call you from Yamaha World Superbike. They called me. We talked a little bit. He wanted it to happen. I flew over it was the Monday before Laguna, and I flew over to Milan, landed Monday night, signed the contract, and then flew back to Laguna Seca and raced the last weekend. So really, in all honesty, if things, wouldn't have changed as much in America, I would have never went to Europe. It wasn't something I wanted to do because of traveling, and I already know that I hate flying, so I didn't want to do it, but I always said that I wouldn't let it stop me from racing if I had to do it. So that was never, because I'd kind of had some opportunities to talk with teams, and I knew it was possible for me to go over in World Superbike or GP, but it had to be the right situation. And then just with everything, how things changed, I basically had to go over there and jumped on the World Superbike, and then obviously went over to GP after that.